Dwayne, how was your Saturday night and Sunday? Could you forget it, or what happened?
I think everybody's pretty gutted by the final result. Really, I think it was a game we should have won. To be honest, truth. But in terms of ourselves, I think everybody will look at the last sort of 5 minutes when you're 10 points, or 74 minutes when we're 10 points ahead, and then let it slip. But actually, when I reviewed it all, there was a few times in the match where I felt we had them on the ropes, and I think at times we played good stuff. And just, it was probably a case of compounding a few errors here and there. I think especially around that 33 minutes mark where we knocked the ball, or they knocked the ball back at the goal line dropout. And we were inaccurate in the next attack, where I felt at that stage we were attacking really well, and I felt like we were gonna break them. You look at obviously Eddie's break later on, so it was a try we should have put away, but look, I think so a bit disappointed at the result, because those are the games we should be winning.
That Eddie James break as well, it's obviously a young player. It's sort of across the regions at the moment. Cardiff last week made a load of line breaks, didn't quite finish them off. When they're more experienced, or when teams, on a roll, do those chances get finished and games become a bit easier?
Yeah, I think, look, you got to take those opportunities, obviously, but like someone like Eddie, he was excellent in the game, and I think that he's one that's growing all the time. To answer your questions, that's one thing that we've been good at over the last couple of months is finishing off those opportunities, and we didn't do that in the weekend. I think there's probably one or two opportunities we need to take more points from. So that's accuracy from our behalf, and patience, I suppose, behind the line. But look, I think that's obviously our constant work on. In some games like that, where you do have a lot of line breaks, you don't finish. That's obviously costly. But no, look, we obviously bitterly disappointed. I think everyone's disappointed, more so with a loss like that. And obviously, we lost in South Africa heavily, but I think that loss has probably hurt more, because I think that's a game we should be winning.
I mean, it's been a brutal injury list. I mean, you had a couple of knocks on the weekend. Tane Plumtree obviously had a couple of Lazarus types cuddled back first half of the shoulder, then second half. How is he? Because he's obviously had a few problems with that coming in as well.
Yeah, he's not going to be right this week. We'll have to wait to see on our scans for him, on further investigation. But look, obviously he picked up an injury in the England game in the pre-season World Cup warm-up. So, he's done. He's hurt his shoulder again, but we'll wait to see how that pans out. I've been knowing four, apart from obviously not going to be available this weekend.
So the fear is there, but hopefully, you're talking about operation long term, but hopefully he might be right. Okay.
Yeah, look, we'll see. As I said, it's still early doors yet. Medical team doing a good job with him. So we'll see where we are on Monday, I suppose, on that one.
Because he's made a good impression, hasn't he? Since
he's been good, and look, he's a good athlete. I think that definitely a good athlete. I think is the age of his game that we need to refine, etc. And he knows that as well. But he's prepared to work. He's a good character in the group, and so look, he's been a good fit for us, and he'll only get better. I think for him, for us, and for Wales. I think you're going to have a player there in a year or so that's going to be very very competitive.
And so, no more from last week?
No. I'm trying to think. No, I think we're fine from last week. Yeah, look, obviously, Ryan coming back was a big one for us. Him getting through that game, picked up a little nickel in that Argentina game, but came through with fine colours. He's excellent. He's outstanding. Led from the front, and good to have him. Good to have him back firing, really.
Leinster away, saw what they did against the Dragons last week. They were very efficient. You know what to expect out there. Is that the sort of game you need at the moment?
Look, you get the games when you get the games, I suppose. We know we have a big couple of weeks back to back now, and it's about managing the squad a bit as well, because we've got Ospreys Cardiff coming next, which are obviously big games for us as well. So, there'll be one or two guys who will get an opportunity this week, definitely. So I think that it's obviously a tough challenge to go to Dublin. They'll probably be at their strongest, I'd imagine, or close to it. If I think their players are starting to filter back now. So yeah, it's a tough prospect for any team to go there. But look, it's fixtures fall when the fixtures fall, and we'll go and look forward to it. I think that. What they have been is, obviously the front runners of the last couple of seasons, and from my time in Ireland, how efficient they are in terms of their fundamentals of the game. I suppose that's what sets them apart from everyone else, is their fundamentals of the game. You know, their speed to contact, they work at the breakdown, the ball carry, and then when they do get opportunities, their backs are very hard working, and they create opportunities and put you away. So I think it's important for us that you stay in the fight then, and you don't give them anything loose, because loose opportunity for them is what kills sides.
Sam Lousy back for the derbies?
Potentially.
Yeah. Final one for me. It's been quite a harrowing week for Welsh rugby. You've seen the headlines. Obviously the region's not directly involved in what's happening with the union, but when you see that as Welsh rugby people, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, look, I thought it's obviously tough reading. I think the report was something that needed to come out, because I think it's how you move on is the big thing there. And I think that there's obviously recommendations, there's obviously actions that are going to take place, and how we all have to abide to that to make sure that it's a better environment, or and that's the goal. The report is one thing, how we act on it now and how we move forward is the big thing beyond that.
And the regions have put out a statement saying that they combine, they're sort of combined on that. So that's that sort of inclusion of the regions as well, backing one statement behind it is a big thing, because you obviously, your rivals on the field, but you all want the same thing off it, don't you?
Definitely, yeah. Like everybody wants a strong Welsh rugby union. Everyone wants a strong rugby game in Wales, and that's the bottom line. And how we do that, there's obviously things we need to work on and off the field, and that's what putting our best foot forward from now on in, and making sure that we all abide to that.
Lovely, thank you.
Yeah.
You saw the Ospreys announced last week that they had 3 players on loan from the Cheetahs. Might the Scarlets try something similar? Because obviously you've got a lot of injuries, and the squad's obviously not as stacked as they have been in the past.
Yeah, I think there's all options that we're looking at. I think that in the short term and in the long term, if I'm honest, and I think that those type of partnerships, be it in Africa, be it in the States, be it in the MLR kicking off, be it down south in the southern hemisphere, those type of collaborations or will always be beneficial to any side. So I think, look, there's, I've got nothing to give you in terms of that, but I think that in the future, I'm sure more sides will be looking at that sort of cooperative work.
Are you looking at bringing anyone in short term?
Yeah, look, there's obviously areas that we're a bit light at the minute, so those, we've picked up a few injuries, so we will be looking, whether we get that across the line or not. But look, there's obviously constantly looking to improve, and also we have there's no doubts we have got a few injuries in key areas that we leave ourselves light, but. If an opportunity arises and we were able to do it, then I'm sure we'll do it.
Yeah, obviously it's tough times now. Injuries don't help. For any sort of frustrated fans, is the message that it is a young squad. You look at Eddie James. I know that there's a few mistakes, and everyone on the whole he's done well. That if you can retain all these players, and you're going through the pain now, that hopefully you can benefit in the long run.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that. Look, the reality is we probably frustration is one thing. I think that I get that. What you see on the pitch on the weekend is a fight, and that's what I'm looking for in the teams. Yes, we'll get better as the season goes ahead, no doubt. Look, there's no question that going to Africa is always a tough ask whenever you go in. So for us to lose 2 games out there, and we lost a game we should have won on the weekend. That's the first game we've lost in the league at home for a year. And I think that, we didn't lose it by not fighting, and I think that that's the big thing for me. We have to have that fight on the field. We have quality in the group, and we have got young talent who are given opportunities. I think, you only have to look at our backline over the last year to see that, we brought some players through, like Costello, see Joe Roberts really pushing through, Eddie coming on board now, Tommy Rogers, Archie Hughes is starting to show himself as well. So, look, Tommy Lewis coming back. These guys are going to be the future of the club, and we have to have patience, but we have to give them opportunity. And I think that what they will give us this year is a real bit of fight. And look, that game at 74 minutes, we win that game 10 points on the weekend, and you're probably looking and thinking, well, we should have put a bonus point there, And I think that's the difference. It's those fine margins. We've got to keep improving stuff, and I think that that's the thing for me. We have big block ahead of us. we'll pick up a few wins before Christmas, hopefully, and then we can really attack the end of the new year, knowing that we've got people like Costi coming back, we've got Josh McLeod coming back, Sam Lowsey coming back, Ken Owens potentially coming back. These are big names for us, and I think that we'll need we need that quality. But in the meantime, we're giving boys opportunity, and they're doing, they're working hard and they're getting better every week.
You mentioned Archie Hughes. Obviously, he hasn't had as much game time as some of the other young players. I asked somebody, I won't name names, I asked somebody in the 20s about, obviously I've seen him myself, but I asked him what he thought of Archie Hughes, and he said, he reminds me of a young Dwayne Peel. Do you see that as well? And that sort of potential in him?
He's not that good. No, I wouldn't.
Okay, Mike.
No, he's a quality player. I think he's got big potential. Yeah. He's definitely quicker than I was anyway, and that's one thing for sure. He's more elusive, and he's one who's going to play a lot of rugby for us this year. I'm sure of that. He's obviously had opportunities out in Africa. He hasn't over the last 2 weeks. He will travel this week, so I'm excited about the future for him. I think that he's one that not only I think he's there's some fundamentals of the game that he needs to get better at, as every young nine does. But I like his attitude, and I like the fact that he's got a bit of confidence, and he's got confidence within the group, confidence to speak up, and that's what you need as a nine. I think that the future's bright for him definitely, and. It's about picking the right times and getting the right opportunities for him, because when he does get in there, he's gonna flourish, I'm sure.
Just finally for me, I think we're talking to Teddy Leatherbarrow in a bit. What have you made of him so far? And obviously we're talking about budgets and stuff. The Bucks Super League, obviously, Alex Donbrant at Quins, Luke Northmore and stuff. Will you be looking more at that as well?
I think that for us it was an opportunity that arose with Teddy. We were probably helped the fact that Scott Snedden was with us and he'd coached him, and we were able to ask him about him, and we had that sort of inside knowledge, I suppose, of what he was like as a player. He's gone away to play for the Quins in Carmarthen for a couple of games at the start of the season. It was excellent for them. And he's got a good real bit of intent about him. And I think he's an out seven. He's got that edge about him, and he works hard, and I think he's been excellent the last 2 games, in all honesty. I think, you talk about physicality and size of South African packs and the Lions packs. Teddy's not the biggest, but what he does give you is energy, and he gives you quality. So, we talk about players with intent and wanting to hit things and to carry hard and to work hard for the team. And that's him, really. He works hard for the team. He's a quiet guy, works hard in his game. So I'm delighted he's getting an opportunity, Obviously for him, an opportunity arose with Josh and Dan Dave not being available for us, but he's taken it with both hands, definitely, put himself right in the mix. I'm lwg yn siomedig gyda'r canlyniad yn diwedd y dydd, achos oedd e'n gêm dylsyn ni wedi ennill, 10 pwynt lan a 74 munud ar y cloc. Ond siomedig I golli'n amlwg. Mae'r boes yn hynod o siomedig, achos Sam o'n I wedi colli fan hyn yn y gyngor yn flwyddyn nawr, a mae record dda gyda ni ma, ond o'n i'n quite digon da. Dim ond yn y 10 munud diwetha fi credu, ond ar cyfan, so credu ni digon da ar y 10 mawr y gêm, le ar 33 munud, o'n I reit ar y llinell nhw. O'n I wallus dar pel, a wedyn camgymeri ar gosb, o'n I gorffen lan yn dweud yn unen, felly. Mae hwnna'n siomedig, ond mae'n dysgu'r gwers, a mae boes ifanc ar y car, maen nhw'n mynd I dysgu'r gwers o'n ni edrych mlaen. Maen nhw'n mynd I fod yn tîm dda, yn amlwg, maen nhw'n mynd I cael boes gwyddelig nôl. So maen nhw'n fod yn dasg anodd I ni, mae cyfle I roi y chwaraewyr wrthos hyn, maen nhw'n rhoi cyfle I cwbl o chwaraewyr I weld I nhw cael wario wrthos hyn, a wedyn edrych mlaen fawr at y gêm, achos mae'n cyfle I boes ifanc eto I edrych a chwarae yn erbyn goreuon y byd.
How's Team Plumtree?
Mae fe'n oleit, mae fe ddim yn bar am wythnos hyn, mae sgwydd ddim yn dda iawn wythnos hyn, felly gan I weld sy'n bydd edrych ar wythnos nesaf.